everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, definitely share the video, and leave a comment. Don't forget, we're going to start pumping out these shirts, the merchandise, Blood on the Razor Wire TV t-shirts. If you guys want one, hit me up at freedomfighterspc@gmail.com. We'll start pumping out the shirts. Got a couple books we'd like to get out. I got a special guest today. He was a cop at Atwater when the cop was murdered over there. He was also a cop in Idaho, I believe it was. But I'm gonna let him introduce himself and tell you a little bit about who he is, where he's from. So go ahead and introduce yourself, Lawrence. Tell the people who you are, where you're from, man.
Yeah, my name is Lawrence. I come from D.C. on the East Coast. Went in the military, got retired, got blown up, and then started my correctional career in Idaho, the state prison. It's called CCA, known as the Gladiator School. Spent there about 2 years and then transferred over to the feds, USP Atwater in California.
I'm glad to have you on the show, man, because I like to get people's perspectives, especially your perspective is going to be important, man, because you were working at a prison when a couple dudes had killed a cop over there. So we're definitely going to talk about that, talk a little bit about the military, talk about the Gladiator School. So you started out in Idaho, you said, right?
Yep.
We're going to get to Idaho, but I'm going to start at USP Atwater first. How was that prison when you worked there?
It was jumping, lots of drinking. We had what was called taxi rides, inmates picking up drunk people and dropping them off at their housing units. Wasn't that big of a deal. Caused a lot of fights, though. A lot of stabbings between the Southsiders and the DMV car, which is the DC, Maryland, Virginia.
Yeah. Were you working over there when Rios came over there from Big Sandy, the warden?
Yeah, he wasn't a very good dude.
No. You didn't like him, huh?
No, he tried to be too harder than he was, and yeah. Plus, he had his favorite inmates too that he liked to use to try to enforce politics and shit.
No, oh yeah, I know. I was with him at Big Sandy, man. They ended up sending him over there after the cop was murdered over there. I want to talk to you about that day. You worked there when that happened, right?
Good so.
What did you? How did people feel when you're like, damn, the cop just got murdered? Were people like, damn, dude?
It was kind of twofold because when he died, he was chased around a tier by two Indian guys that were drunk, and they just wanted to go to the shoe to be with their family. So they're like, we're just gonna stab this dude, and that's it. Well, as he was running around the tier, he drops to the bottom, and I don't know how it is in other places, but we have a counselor's office, a counselor section in between the two units. So you have to pop the door, and the females that were in the counseling office didn't open the door to try to save him. They just let him get stabbed. So a lot of us got mad at other guards for just not doing shit.
Did you feel like, when you worked at Atwater, did you ever feel like your life was in danger? Be honest, man.
Oh yeah, a few times. One is particular. We had an inmate, so we had laundry rooms in all the units, and the rule was you don't do hooch in the laundry room or you lose your laundry room. This dude decided he was gonna say, I'm gonna make hooch anyway. Well, of course, we caught him, we locked it down, and like maybe 2 or 3 hours later, his cellie knocks him to the ground and starts jumping up and down on his head from the bunk. So we popped the door to go in, and the other two inmates that were next door weren't locked in properly, and they popped out with us, and they're like, if you touch him, we're gonna fucking kill you. And they pulled out shanks, and they're like, we're serious, if you go near those two, we're gonna fucking cut you. And sure as shit, that's what they tried.
Was it your housing unit?
It was my housing unit.
And did you have other people come to support you when you were going in there, or were you by yourself at that time?
So when it started, we were there by ourselves. Response time is typically 2 minutes. It's a big facility to run.
So let me ask you this, right? I mean, I asked you, like, were you nervous? Were you scared? When you first started working there, did you come in there like, hey, man, I'm a tough-ass dude. I'm coming here to work. I was in the military. I don't care about these dudes, man. I'm coming balls to the wall. Did you come in with that attitude?
So when I came into the state facility, I was like that. Was on the SORT team and all that stuff. So yeah, I went hard there. But once I got to the feds, it was a lot cooler. You could tattoo as long as you didn't get me in trouble. I didn't care. I'm not gonna trip on your little stuff. They found out early I was from DC, so all the DMV guys used to, kind of protect me and, keep everybody in line for me.
That's crazy, right? I mean, so when you're a cop, you're in Atwater. It's a dangerous prison at the time, right? That was in 2007, 2008 probably?
Yeah.
When you first go to work there, you obviously came from the CCA, and it's jumping over there. We're going to talk about they had a fight club going on where the cops were betting on prisoners over there. But when you went into Atwater that first day, were you a little bit scared? Like, damn, I'm in a federal penitentiary?
Yeah, I mean, there's some big guys that I first met. And so, yeah, you're like, crap, what did I sign up for? As soon as I got in a unit and I'm, one guy per 80, it just came natural, and everybody just, I normally never had fights on my units. Inmates seem to respect me because I had that swag to me.
You were a younger dude. People respected you a little bit.
Yeah. I didn't go in like the most young dudes that think they got to prove everything to the world. I've already done that. I'm not trying to do it again.
What's one of the worst things you've seen happen at Atwater while you were there?
Probably the dude that got his head caved in for the hooch. His head literally was crushed into thin ass piece. Blood and all that stuff. Blood matter everywhere. Brain matter everywhere.
Did he kill him?
And when they pulled him, he died. Yeah, but he came out. He was gurgling. You could hear him gurgle trying to breathe, and he died maybe an hour later.
White prisoners, black prisoners?
Black on black.
Yeah.
And the guy that killed him didn't even, like, when we got him into question, he's like, I didn't even know I killed him.
You see that a lot, don't you?
Yeah, they do.
Did you think going into work in a federal prison, did you think, this is the feds, these guys are like rich dudes, and this is a different type of prison? Did you think that at first?
Yeah, at first, and a little bit too while I was there, because the feds run things a lot different than the state. The state, you have your guards that run the prison for the most part, but in the feds, when something happens, let's say gang versus gang, they bring that heavy from that one gang, the heavy from the other gang, and let them talk. And then they go around to every housing unit and calm everybody down. A little bit of club fed right there.
Yeah. How about weapons? You find a lot of badass weapons in there?
Seen some massive knives, some machetes, some good pokers.
Yeah. Dangerous place, right, Lawrence?
Yeah, it really is. You always got to keep your head on a swivel.
What made you want to quit working there? Because you don't work there anymore, right?
No, I don't work there anymore. I think mainly it was just because of the way that it was run. Rios runs it, like crap, and expects everybody to do exactly what he says. And I'm not that dude. Like, I'm not gonna trip because you have a towel over your door because you're going boo boo. Like,
yeah,
leave it alone.
You gotta, when you work in an environment like that, I used to say that, man, and I said this before on a video. I think just be consistent, man. You don't have to go in there and be an asshole, man. Go tear people's cells up, shit like that. And that's something I want to ask you, because you don't work there no more, man, so you can shoot straight. And the people want to hear this from someone, not that we're bashing cops and, prison staff, but the truth is this: you ever see dudes who just want to go in there and fuck people's cells up just to be nasty, man?
Oh, yeah. We had a guard that would go into the rooms, and he would step on the middle of their bed with his foot, leaving a giant footprint. And then he'd go apart and rip their cells apart and then just walk out. And one day he took down the Samoan guy's, porn pictures or whatever, flick pictures. And guard started leaving the cell, and dude was like, you better put that back. I'm telling you, put it back. And he said no, and he turned around and clocked him and knocked him out. Guard went down. And he deserved it. In all honesty,
he puts you in danger too if you got to respond, right? Put you in a dangerous situation by being an asshole.
But he can use the excuse of, hey, it's in my job title, I can do that.
Yeah, I thought they're supposed to put the cell back together the same way they found it, according to policy.
If they have time.
If they have time.
That's the way it works.
So there's always an excuse for them to do what they want to do. They always got a backup.
Yep. Like, something popped off. I couldn't straighten his cell back up.
So the dude that gets killed, were you working on the day that he was murdered? Were you actually at work when that happened?
We were there, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Did you respond to it?
We responded to it. Yep.
Did you panic, or what did you think when you first responded? When you're like, "Oh shit"?
There's a ton of blood everywhere. He got stabbed some 20 something plus times. Like I said, we were a mixture of angry at the inmate and then angry at the staff for not trying to save the dude's life.
Yeah, because it could easily have been you, right?
Yep.
Do you think if the women would have opened the door, they would have been able to maybe save him?
I think so, because they had fire extinguishers and stuff in that little back hallway. I think it had given them enough time to crawl away.
So really, they killed the guard. What? Why did they kill the guard? You said something about going to the hole.
So they had family in ADX in Florence.
Yeah.
And they knew they were trying to get back to them, so they figured the best way to do that was to kill a guard. So they got extremely drunk, waited for us to do lockdowns, because we all do the key lockdowns for each cell. And as soon as he tried to put the key in the door, they slammed it open and it was on.
Damn. Was he? What type of cop was he? Was he a fucked up cop, an all right guy?
No, he was a good cop, actually. They liked him. Like, everybody in the pod liked him.
That's what I heard. I heard that in the system while I was in it. He wasn't a bad dude.
A bunch of the inmates were like, if we were still out, we would have stopped that. That's how good of a dude he was.
Yeah. You believe they would have stopped it?
I think they would have. At least, like I said, I know for me, I've had some DC inmates step in front of, somebody trying to fuck with me, and they're like, nah, don't do it.
Well, sometimes dudes do that because if you come to the unit and you're not messing with people, you're letting people do what they need to do. I guess what I'm saying is, I had cops tell me before, if you ain't raping, robbing, and killing, man, I don't care what you do, man. Did you feel the same way?
Yeah. My thing that I told everybody, if you're going to do something like tattooing, for example, have your dude posted on the door. If the warden comes in, shut it down. Because if he catches you, then we have problems, because now I'm in trouble.
Let me ask you that. So if a warden catches people doing something like that, does he get on you guys? Does he yell at you? Does he treat you like a kid?
Yeah, he's the staff. Yeah, oh yeah. Like, he does his rounds, and like, if there's towels on the doors, he'll start freaking out on you. Why is there towels on the inmates' doors? You know they're not supposed to be there. Dude's taking a boo-boo. What do you want me to do about it?
Yeah. So dude's taking a shit, and he wants to act like he wants to towel down, and he's not running the housing unit, though. He doesn't have to be there all day with them guys. You do.
Nope.
How was the pay, Lawrence?
Pay wasn't bad. I mean, for how old I was, I was in my early 20s then.
Was it worth it, though?
20s. No, I kind of wish I would have stayed in the state system.
Yeah, so let's go over there, man. Let's talk about the state system. They had some stuff going on, like a fight club over there, right?
Yep.
So what would happen? What, the guards would bet on it? Tell the people a little bit about it. I think I wrote an article about this before when I used to write for Criminal Legal News or Prisoners Legal News in prison, but I want to hear it from you. Tell me how that worked. Tell the people how that was working.
Yeah. So we had open bays, which are supposed to be the honor units, but they weren't. And, if an inmate pissed the guard off, he's going to go in a hat. He's going to go, he's going to get in that box later and have to duke it. So then he gets with the other guards. He's like, hey, this is the guy I'm putting in tonight. Who y'all want to put in with him? And then they figure it out, and then they send him, and then they bet on it. And whoever wins gets that money.
So do the prisoners get anything for fighting from the cops?
They'll get extra trays. That kind of thing.
So they had a real life...
Nothing major.
Nothing major. All right, so they had a real life fight club. Did you ever see anybody get messed up?
I've seen some jaws broken. I saw a dude get hit in the corner of his eye, and his eye popped out.
Man, how do you guys convince these dudes to go fight?
We just told him, if you don't fight, you're going to the hole. And we're just going to make your life fucking miserable.
And they knew it.
And they knew we could, so they knuckled it up.
Did you enjoy watching the fights? I like watching fights, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm a man. No, I enjoy that stuff.
Honestly, no, because a lot of the times they were uneven.
Okay.
Like, it's not, one good-sized dude versus one good-sized dude. I'm at one good-sized dude and a tiny little guy running around. Like, I don't want to see that.
No, I'm talking about fights like, my boy Conor McGregor, Manny Pacquiao tomorrow. I mean, we're men, right? And we, we like that type of stuff. I like contact sports. I don't like to see a big 6'5" dude beating up a little dude. Like the video that I had put out today, it had two dudes, had this dude tied up, had a leash on him. I don't know if you got to see that video, but that was like the end of the segment of the video. But yeah, I don't want to see shit like that either. But I'm sure some of the guards like that, right? They're like, look, he's kicking his ass.
Yeah.
So if a guy got smart with you, you're like, okay, we got something for him. We're putting him in the gladiator pit tonight.
Yep.
And the guards would bet on it.
And they bet on it, trying to make as much money as they could.
How much money were they winning off a fight like that?
$200-300 a fight, and fights were happening almost every night.
So they were supplementing their income pretty good, huh?
Yep.
Wow. Unbelievable, man.
So they ended up getting caught, though, and the whole prison got turned back over to the state.
Well, them CCA facilities, man, they're horrible. What do you think about private prisons?
I don't think people should be trying to make money, make profits off the suffering of other people. Like, y'all are doing your time, you're trying to do that stuff. I don't need to make your time worse and have fun with it.
Let me ask you this, right? At that private prison, I was in a CCA facility. There was a lot of sexual stuff going on. They started putting signs up that if a guard has sex with a prisoner, that, that's a felony. That they have a bunch of sex stuff going on over there?
We didn't have a lot of male guards doing it because it's a male facility, but we did have a lot of inmates having sex with each other.
Jesus. What about the staff? I'm asking about the staff. Were the staff having sex with the prisoners?
No, because we only held men. We housed maximum security men, so none of them were trying to get at the other men.
No one was pulling the women staff members.
Women. So here's the thing. That's actually a good story. There was a female guard that had been there for a long time. Hispanic girl, kind of cute, not too chubby. She bet inmates on a football game that if she lost, she would blow them in the cleaning closet.
Yeah.
Well, come to find out, she loses. Well, she gets busted in the cleaning closet with 4 inmates giving her blowjobs.
4 people at one time?
Yep.
Wow. And so what ended up happening with her?
She got walked out, and then she got charged for sexual act with an inmate or something like that, whatever the charge is.
So gave up her job. How much were you getting paid to work over there, man, if you remember?
I think $18 an hour back then.
Back then, that was all right money, right?
Yeah.
Not bad. What's some of the worst shit you've seen over there at the CCA facility?
I saw inmate splash a hot pot in the dude's face, literally burned his skin off his face. That was pretty gruesome. We had a gang fight, the whites and the Serranos, and they all locked each other, so there was blood all over the walls and the windows of the cell house.
Were they outnumbered?
Whites are always outnumbered. Serranos run really deep for some reason.
Who do you when you were in Atwater, working at Atwater, who do you think was the most dangerous car, most dangerous gang?
I would say it was between the Serranos and probably the DMV car.
That's because of the numbers with the DMV car, right?
Yeah, because it has so many people.
Do you feel like the Serranos would kill you, though, at the drop of a dime if they got ordered to?
Oh, yeah. And it wouldn't be one of them. It would be multiple.
I think they're the most dangerous gang in federal prison, at least to me. You know what I mean? At least to me.
I mean, they're the most organized. They do all that PT and stuff every day. And
I want to ask you this, right? You end up leaving the prison work, right? What are you doing nowadays?
I work for a casino, security for a casino.
Do you like doing that?
Yeah, I love it.
Do you see some wild shit happening in the casinos?
Every once in a while, we just had a guy pull a gun out on himself, try to shoot himself. Cop shot him, and then he had an explosive in the middle of his chest.
Jesus. How long you been doing that security?
6 years, I think.
Do you know who Flavor Flav is?
Yeah.
Do you remember when he got beat up in the hotel?
Yeah.
I mean, in the casino, I'm helping a guy right now. His brother's serving life, man, and he's the dude that beat up Flavor Flav. I was trying to get him on the show. He doesn't want to come on. He's probably watching this episode. He's a real, quiet dude, man. Really good dude, man. I'm trying to get him on the show, man. We can play that video off of TMZ where Flavor Flav's getting beat up and bring him on the show and talk about it. But he's a more reserved dude. He lived, a criminal life, changed his life. He's doing great things now. I'm trying to get him on the show, though. So if he's watching, man, we want you on the show. Let's talk about this. When you worked in Atwater, did people used to come to you and give you information and try to tell you shit, or no?
Oh yeah, we would get kites, and I used to listen to music because we had like a little office in the pod, and we could shut the door and secure it. But I would go in there and I'd play music, and then as I was playing the music, inmates would surround the door, and they'd start like dancing and doing their shit. And then every once in a while, they'll have an inmate slide in the office and set something on a table and say, "Hey, this guy's got a knife over in this part of the building. You might want to go look at it." And we do it.
You seem like the type of dude that if someone was in there snitching, that you'd be like, "Dude, get the fuck out of here. You're snitching on people, man. Get out of my office." Were there times like that?
Oh yeah, like it's like sometimes it's like I don't need you to tell me how to do my job. I'll figure it out. And like so one time though, I did use it to my advantage. I had a pair of Oakleys that I left on my desk, and these inmates, one of these inmates is a Muslim inmate, took it. So I went and locked the unit down, base checked the unit. I said, "Hey, whoever's got my glasses, put them in the mailbox, and y'all will be fine. I won't mess with anybody." So I go in my office, I shut my door, start paying attention. All of a sudden I see another Muslim, the leader Muslim guy, go over to the guy's cell, tell him, "Hey, put that shit back." Made the guy walk down the stairs and put him in the box.
Unbelievable, right? I've seen people do. When I was in Raybrook, a dude stole the cop's hat. Boy, was he pissed off, man. But it got the unit, like you said, on the verge of getting tore up. Man, we got the dude's hat back, man, instead of getting people's shit taken. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So look, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. Is there anything you want to say that we didn't cover?
Shoo. No, man. Like I said, I love your channel, man. You're doing your thing, and I think you're helping some people stay out of that bad areas.
Well, I appreciate you. I want you to tell these kids, man, that some of these kids think prison is cool, man. What do you think? Is prison cool? Is it dangerous?
Prison is definitely not cool. The food sucks, especially if you get in trouble. You got to eat the pimento loaf, like all the food mixed into one loaf. It's disgusting. Nobody really cares about you in there. Even your homeboys, they don't really care what happens to you. They'll be quick to turn on you. So I would never go to jail, ever. You get beat up, like I said, get beat up for making wine. Guy died because he made some wine.
That's sad, man. Sad day. Again, man, listen, man, I appreciate you, man, coming on the show. Tell everybody again, man, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button. Definitely share the video. We get all different perspectives on the show. This man worked in one of the most dangerous prisons at that time, USP Atwater. The shit is real, man. Real and raw. Until tomorrow, Blood on the Razor Wire TV, we're out.